beautiful journey thus far. Our speaker will be joining us shortly. Yes, good evening, Grace Musa. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Nice to have you guys here again. Nice to have everybody here again. Okay. Once the speaker joins, okay, our speaker is on the call with us right now, and I know he's very busy, so he had to just try to make today's class available. So I'm going to read his profile and then I will introduce him to you. So just shortly before I read his profile, I'd just like to say that I've known Julius Ilori now for quite short, well, for a short time, but that time has been, we've had wonderful times together. And to be honest, I really cherish the relationship that I have with him. He's a humble guy to the core. I can say that about him. Very, very down to earth. Very, very, see, I'm saying very, very. We've worked together for a while and chatted, we've met, we've, spent some time together. And I can tell you, he's a very, very, I'm saying that very, very humble guy. He's very, very humble. Humility is something that I've observed in him, and he has the heart to help. I may not be able to narrate some of the things we've tried doing in the past, how if he has this influence or this network, he doesn't mind sharing that network with you. That's the thing. That's one thing I can say about him. And I really want to appreciate you, brother. He has become a brother. He has become my brother. So we are brothers now, and we are in a similar space. He's doing great work in his line, but I'll let him talk about what he does and then he'll take us to today's class. Let me read his profile. Julius Ilori is the co-founder of Learner's Corners Education, Tech Hub, dedicated to advancing inclusive education through the transformative power of technology. Learner's Corners' primary goal is to promote access to quality education and improving learning outcomes of students. Julius' significant contributions have earned him the prestigious U.S. Department of State Award, the Mandela Washington Fellowship for Young Africa. He has represented Lagos as part of a delegation to Finland, engaging extensively with the education community there. Additionally, Julius was part of the Nigerian delegation at the United Nations General Assembly in 2023. More recently, he served as Nigeria's youth delegate at the Third Summit for Democracy in South Korea. With his profound expertise in education and technology, Julius has garnered widespread recognition and acclaim, featuring prominently in esteemed media outlets such as Voice of America and Channels TV, and so on. With excitement, as excited as I am, please can you join me to welcome Julius Ilori. In the chat, please welcome him. Julius, over to you. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for this introduction. I was just smiling behind the camera like, oh my God, I am so honored, and thank you so much for having me. Please permit me to off my camera for today, please. I would just want to speak from my heart and share some of the things I've jotted down in my notes since I received this invitation, and I'm most honored to be among this group of great minds, intellectuals, people who are ready to change the world, educators. I'm so honored to be here, and thanks so much for joining this session. I wrote a few things down when I got this invitation, and I just don't want to come here to do like a presentation like the normal way we do it. And at the end of the day, there's really nothing to write home about. So I'll possibly be speaking from my jota, and also I really wish everybody can also contribute to some of the things that, I mean, questions, comments. You can stop me anytime if you want to say anything you feel you need me to expatiate on one or two things. And I want to believe that everybody in the house, we are all working in the education space. Maybe not everybody, but I want to assume that is the case right here. Once again, good evening, and thanks so much for having me. So let's just go straight to the point. I'm going to be speaking from my notes. I'm just trying to get it up now. Yes, okay. My topic today is basically on leveraging technology to enhance teaching and learning. Please let me know if you can hear me, and if you cannot hear me, or if I'm speaking, you can't hear me, because immediately I started this presentation, they just to be light. So I won't be able to stand up too quickly on the generator, but I think I'll just keep speaking up from here. My background, basically, as I was rightly introduced, I have some experience in working with teachers, working with school owners, and also working with students. So it's something I'm also learning on, like I'm learning on the job, and I don't want to come here and speak like an authority or like an expert. I'm not yet an expert. I'm also learning on the job, because we agree that technology continues to evolve every day. New innovations are coming up. Education curriculum also is changing gradually, in different part of the world. So when we talk about leveraging technology to enhance teaching and learning, it's important to know that before the pandemic, conversations like this are always not important, because we really don't see the need for some of the changes that we are currently experiencing in education. And for some of the teachers right here, I'm sure you agree with me that if not because of the pandemic, we'll possibly be having this question maybe in 2030, right? Because we are still used to the usual way of engagement, usual way of teaching, usual way of communicating. But immediately the pandemic, happened. That moved us really fast into the digital revolution age, where technology became a major conversation, and everything that we're doing today, as I speak right now, is powered by technology. If not because of technology, we won't be having this call. I'm sure all of us are joining from different locations. Some people might even be joining from outside of the country. Some people are joining from maybe Abuja or from Calabar or different part of Nigeria. And technology has given us the platform to be able to have conversations like this, and I mean, that's one of the biggest examples that we can look into right now. And as educators, as young people, as teachers, or whatever we do, we know that technology has come to stay in the space of education. We might still be struggling with maybe internet accessibility, access to devices, and all of that. But the reality of it is that technology has come to stay, and I'm sure it is here to stay. We just need to continue to adjust the work that we do. We must continue to adjust to fit in, into the new era of technology. I'm going to explain, the importance of technology in education. If we look at it critically, two things technology has come to do, in education. Number one is to scale accessibility. What did I mean by accessibility? We have people who cannot access or afford to go to school. We have people who are in school, but they don't have access to quality education. One thing technology has come to do is to be able to scale, the quality of education to people who cannot access it, to people who cannot afford it. For example, we have platforms like ULesson, promoting technology, promoting secondary school education, leveraging technology. They are not a full-time school, but they are like an online platform, even the same as Learner's Corner. We are not an online platform. We are, creating content. We are delivering quality teaching content to students who cannot afford to come to get this kind of education or this kind of content wherever they are. So it's one thing, to think about when we talk about education accessibility, access to quality education. Technology has given us that platform, to achieve that. And number two thing I'm going to mention today is improving learning outcome. You will agree with me that the way people learn these days has shifted. There's a bit of shift in the way people learn right now. For some of us that are very conversant with the use of technology, TikTok, Instagram, and some of these incredible social media platforms, you see that the way content are developed, the way less engagement are being developed on some of these platforms is changing critically, because people don't have too much time to sit and listen to you for a long time. The focus span of young people has changed, like the way it used to be, because people can be distracted anytime. Somebody can sit in a classroom today, and with just one click, the person is already on TikTok enjoying other content, and the teacher is teaching quadratic equation in the class, and the person is even not in that classroom, physically. The person can be there physically, but the person is not there, listening to what that teacher or what the person that the person instructing is saying. So improving learning outcomes is a major component of what technology has come to do through gamification, through puzzles and different kind of engagement. You can see today that we have platforms that help students to learn through different type of games, and that has increased engagement and also helps students to learn at their pace. And today also we have students that cannot focus for long in the classroom. Some people want to learn small. People like me, some of us, including myself, we don't learn fast like other people. We need to learn small, bit by bit. And that is one thing technology is offering today, is helping us to learn at our own pace. It's helping us to learn the way we want to learn it. Somebody might miss a class today, maybe you miss your class and you just have to go online and watch again, or you just have to go online and look through again. And through some of the use of animation, 3D animation, storytelling, the way teachers are explaining their concept also is changing, because storytelling helps us to communicate effectively, using scenarios, real life scenarios, that students or learners can engage with. So these two things are very important when we talk about education, and I think it's something that is driving engagement right now. And there's also something we call the emerging technologies in education. For example, you see schools like Corona Schools, Granger, some of these big schools, they now have platforms to offer classes to their students in diaspora. I've witnessed few, I've had the opportunity of having conversations with some of these schools, and I see the infrastructure that they are developing within their school to be able to capture the market out of Nigeria, because a lot of these parents, some of them are relocating their kids, they are relocating their family, and they still want to keep capturing value from the emerging market in technology, in education, and they start offering classes virtually to somebody who is in Canada, somebody who is in the UK, offering lesson teachers across the world. I'm sure you guys agree with me, because you can sit in your room today as a classroom teacher and you offer maybe mathematics classes on YouTube, and somebody is watching that video from different part of the world, like they are watching it, engaging with you from different part of the world, and that is what we see as emerging market in the education of today. So what are the benefits of technology in the classroom? Number one, personalized learning. Technology allows teachers to tailor their lesson to meet individual needs of students. This is especially beneficial in the classrooms with diverse learners. Adaptive learning platforms like Khan Academy adjust to the pace of each student, allowing them to learn at their own speed. I'm sure we are aware of Khan Academy. If you're not aware of Khan Academy, please write it down. I'm going to spell it right now so we can check it after this session. KHAN Academy. KHAN Academy. You can check it out. You will see thousands of content of materials for your learners, or for different courses, subjects. Just check them out. You're going to see a lot of incredible content, and some part of this content are even free. I think a major part of it are free of charge, so you can take advantage of this. So personalized learning is becoming a conversation today, because technology has made that happen. Students are learning in a way that, they want to learn, and it's becoming the technology or the artificial intelligence that is managing this platform helps them to learn in a way that they will keep coming back to learn. Adaptive learning, like the machine studies the pattern of learning and keeps giving you something that you want to learn. It will keep bringing something to you in a way that you want to learn. If you look at platforms like Duolingo today, you will see that they have improved the way they engage with their learners. You will see people learning on the platform, and they are sending notification, we have missed you. You need to complete the course you started. You need to do this. You need to that. They send you different smileys telling you, oh, so congratulations, you have moved to the next phase. So this incentive, some of these platforms keep students engaged. And that is one thing that is making personalized learning more interesting today. Number 2 is increased engagement and interaction. Technology makes lesson more engaging by incorporating multimedia elements such as videos, animations, and interactive quizzes. For the teachers in the classroom, I'm sure you agree with me. If you have 40 minutes or 45, I don't know, I think it's still 45 minutes they used to teach right now in the classroom. Past period, and 30 minutes of your class, your students are watching maybe a video. You go into the classroom with a flash drive and you plug in the flash into your computer, and you start showing, maybe you want to teach them about skeleton, and the first 30 minutes of that session you are showing them videos of different skeleton, the types of the parts of skeleton, explaining it in video and animation form. You will discover that the engagement of the students will really be like on the eye side, because they will be so excited to see a lot of the videos, the explanations. Platforms like Kahoot allows teachers to create interactive puzzles that students can answer in real time using their device. I'm going to spell that if you want to check it out. Kahoot. Kahoot is also another major platform you want to check out, that it helps increase engagement. However, I know not all the students have devices. We have to acknowledge the fact, not everybody have access to the internet, but in the little way we can use some of these platforms, I think we can always try to make use of them in the easiest way or in the smallest way possible, because these are some of the new ways students are engaging, and some of the new ways to increase interaction within the students. And number 3 is access to resource. Technology has made resources more available. We have a lot of online platforms too that offers teachers training, like my friend's platform. I want to remember the name right now. I can't remember the name, but when I remember, I'll mention it. They offer teachers training courses for almost free of charge. For teachers here who want to learn more about class engagement, lesson development, you possibly, yes, School-Linker. You possibly want to check out School-Linker to see some of this content that they have, and I think that can also help you to streamline your own professional development. And I think they also have certifications for their programs. So access to resources, YouTube has become a major channel of resource right now. There's nothing you want to learn that is not on YouTube. Like, you can take that, you can take this from me. I don't think there's one thing you want to learn that is not on YouTube. Just go to the search button and check it out. You want to learn about public speaking, lesson development, communication in the classroom, YouTube is loaded with a lot of things. In fact, if you want to learn how to cook a roll, any kind of food, just Google it, put it on YouTube. You will see videos of people who have done that. So it's important that we take advantage of some of this resource. And as teachers also that want to go into content creation, YouTube is a platform you want to also leverage. Connect using your YouTube to shoot your videos, post your videos of you teaching some interesting concept that you are more interested in, and also doing short videos of that classes on TikTok, on Instagram, so people can watch on TikTok, and you are directing them from TikTok to YouTube. You're directing them from Instagram or from Facebook to your YouTube. Check the link in my bio and keep watching. So a lot of this platform are really, really, really becoming a major player in the education space. Next section, practical applications for technology in teaching. I don't know if all of the schools that we have in Nigeria already have their whiteboard and smart boards, but I know few private schools that have this whiteboard, and I know some government schools also have. Not all government schools do. Let's say few percentage of our school community have whiteboards now, and interactive boards and smart boards. These tools helps, in helping teachers to present. They are also able to write in real time, and also able to use to involve students directly by letting them interact with the board. Smartboard can be used to conduct maths problem, where students come up and work on the board while the class watch. This is something that is also changing the game for teachers, increasing interaction between students and teachers. Learning management system, number two, like Google Classroom, Edmodo, it helps in organizing teachers' materials, assignments, assessments in one place. I think I've tried to use this. I think is it Google Classroom. Yes, they have a very beautiful interface. For you to store your content, your quiz. Your student can go back to check it out. It's also an important platform that most teachers are using right now. Google Classroom, and students can submit their work online. Teachers can grade and provide feedback directly on Google Classroom. This is a very important platform. Number three, educational apps and tools. Apps like Quizlet, for flashcards, or Duolingo for language. Learning, making study more interactive and enjoyable. These apps can be easily integrated into lessons or assigned as practice work. Using Quizlet to review vocabulary terms in language classes. For English teachers, please check out this platform, Quizlet. That is Quiz and Let, Quizlet. Please check it out and learn how you can use that to improve reviewing of vocabulary terms in your language classes. Number four, virtual reality and augmented reality. VR and AR, tools can immerse students in experience that would otherwise be inaccessible. One example of this is, schools that cannot afford to go to some places for excursion. We know some of these top schools, they go to abroad for excursion. Some of them go to America, they go to London, they travel around the world because they can afford it. But this same experience can also be achieved using VR, augmented reality, to still give young people this experience. However, VR glasses are also not cheap, especially if you want to get the original one. They are like not too cheap, But these are some of the possibilities, for those that can afford it, and for those that are also innovating. You want to innovate around some of this technology, maybe you want to set up a platform where students can go on what is it called? Like visiting different locations in Nigeria, without leaving the place, their premise, doing it virtually and having the same experience somewhere that is there on site. So it's important that we check out some of this platform, innovate around some of this platform. These tools can simulate environments or historical events, making lessons more vivid and memorable. Using Google Expedition to take a virtual field to trips to ancient cities in Egypt, exploring human body through a VR autonomy app. These are very beautiful things that we need to explore. I'm sure in the next future, God will help us. Our government will invest more in education. We should be having VR like classes in some of our ICT labs today, but most schools can still not afford it. But it's important that we know that these things are available and can help improve learning outcomes of students, can help improve interactions, can help improve learning experiences of our learner. And the fifth one is something I've also been reading about a lot, is the flipped classroom. This became very popular during the pandemic, also in the United States, where teachers can interact with their students before and after classes. Please check it out, flipped classrooms. Students watch lectures, study content at home, through videos, and then engage in activities and problem solving during class time with the teacher's guidance. An example of this is a teacher assigns a pre-recorded videos on maths concept to be watched at home, and then uses class time to work on exercise with the students. So teachers can interact pre the class session and post-class session, a student can also be aware of what they are going to be doing in class tomorrow morning. Let's assume tomorrow is Monday and people are going to school. Teachers can go on the platform and put class content for students to see, and they engage and also see the assignment, and they can engage some of the assignments. So when they get to class, it will go beyond the teacher just speaking. It will just be an interactive kind of approach, where the teacher is speaking, the student is speaking, because at that level, we are at the same level of knowledge, but in this part of the world, we still engage in teacher doing all of the 90, like talking for the entire 45 minutes that they have in the class, but learning has gone beyond teacher just writing on the board or teaching from their book or reading from their book. Now student engagement has become a major component of that. So flipped classroom makes this possible. Even if we don't flip classes, there are other ways we can do it. People are also using WhatsApp group these days, to engage students, but sometimes not all the students have WhatsApp or have like Android phones that can at least download WhatsApp. So we just have to keep thinking about all of these ways to think of ways we can make it a bit accessible to people who cannot afford or who cannot access it. My third section is going to be talking about the challenges and solutions. Like I mentioned earlier, not all students have equal access. Access and equity is like a major conversation also, and that's why we as education advocates, we are raising a lot of awareness, bringing up issues like this, speaking in the news, talking every day about it, that government needs to increase funding for education in Nigeria. It's becoming something that they must do, as they keep spending money on other things, other part of the economy. Education also deserves a bit of attention, not just a bit of attention, a major attention, to ensure the blended learning approach where technology is complemented with traditional teaching methods. School can also explore community partnership to provide devices for students in need. We need devices. I'm sure a lot of teachers on this call will have their laptop, but not all the teachers I know have a laptop. But in this era, laptop has become a tool. You need it. There's no mention of words like you need a laptop to do your work properly. Teachers training. Number 2 is teachers training and confidence. We need to continuously build capacity, and that's why platforms like this, it's important to have conversations like this so we can learn from ourselves, we can share knowledge, and also use that for our professional development. It's important that we continuously build capacity. Just a few weeks ago, we completed a training for Lagos State Vocational and Technical Board, training close to 500 teachers for the Lagos State government, on how to use some specific AI tools to develop lesson planning. However, it's a paid program. Maybe in future we can make it available online, or maybe partner with LBL Academy to put this together and ask people to pay for it, because it took us a lot of research to get that together. We did that training and it was very, very, very productive. Like teachers that will sit and write on paper, would and still have classes to take, so with some of the AI tools we introduce them to, they're able to develop their lessons, quizzes, do surveys, do presentation, just with prompts, with just prompting, and these are some of the things that I think we should be talking about through our teachers development program, and teachers also should be exploring online. Like I mentioned, YouTube, you can go on YouTube to check some of these platforms out, I'm sure you're going to see a lot of that. And number 3 is managing screen time. While technology is valuable too, it's essential to balance it and with offline activities to prevent excessive screen time. As we talk about technology, it's also important to balance it. There are times you want to also do some on-site activities like creating group work for the students, putting students in groups and telling them to develop a project and they have to present. This on-site activities also amplify what they are doing online by helping them build leadership skills, public speaking skills, interpersonal relationship skills, emotional intelligence skills, and so on. Now, these are 21st century skills that are needed in the place of work, to help them fit into work environment, that will help them achieve their potential. So we have to manage it. As we talk about technology, it's important to know that on-site activities are also very, very good because it's blended learning. It's just to corroborate one another. We can't depend fully on technology for now. We are not yet there, and I don't think it will get to that place, it will get to that time where we would depend solely on technology. I still don't see that happening in education for now, because education also, interaction in the classroom, physical interaction is also a form of education, for students. Yes. So my last session is going to be talking about the best practice for implementing technology. Number one, we have to start small and scale up gradually. Starting with simple tools like Google Form for quizzes. These are very easy tools to use. Google Form to create your quiz and get feedback from students. Student survey. Google Form can do all of this for us. Before going to complex platforms like Edmodo, Edmodo, you can check that platform too. It's a bit not complicated, but it's tougher to use. You need to start with something more simple, and then you start growing towards use of some of these new technologies. Number two, aligning technology with learning objectives. It's also very important. Emphasizing on the technology. Emphasizing that technology should serve the lessons objective and not replace them. I already talked about this. Technology is a tool to help us achieve our goals. It's not the main thing. Even if you have the best technology and you have a bad curriculum, you will still deliver nonsense. As we keep talking about technology, we must understand that technology gives us a platform and is not the real thing. So one of the most important things is the quality of our curriculum. And that's why you see in the news lately that the federal government is also trying to change the curriculum, trying to improve our curriculum to ensure that we have the best curriculum, because there's nothing you want to scale on technology if it's not good enough on site. It's still the same thing. If you have a curriculum that is not good enough, trust me, if you put it on technology, it's still going to give the same results, right? So at our curriculum must be very, 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 very good to give us the results. Number three is encouraging collaboration. Technology can foster collaboration among students through shared documents, online discussions, and group projects. Using Google Doc for group projects where students can co-edit a document in real time, encourage teamwork and communication skills. So these are some little tools that are just out there, free of charge. They are open source platforms. And in conclusion, I would like to call everybody on this call to action to embrace technology as a means to enhance their teaching and improving student learning. We have to remind ourselves that starting small and staying curious is the key to success. Starting small and staying curious is the key to success, especially as a classroom teacher or as a young person who is passionate about education, or as a young person who is passionate about teaching and learning. We have to start small. Honestly, I can't overemphasize it, because of the limited resources we have. We have to start small and continue to stay curious, to continue to improve. As you can see how artificial intelligence is changing the game right now. Things are changing really, really fast. And if we don't stay curious, we might become not up to date in just 48 hours. Things are really moving fast. So I want to encourage us to keep going, to keep pushing, to keep chasing excellence, because we may not have all the resources we need right now. We need to acknowledge that fact. But if we continue to stay curious, to continue to start, by doing a lot of research and starting very small, trust me, we are going to achieve a lot, using technology. Even in some of these developed countries, they are still also at the learning stage. It's not, they're also not there yet. I have had the privilege of working outside of Nigeria. I've worked in a school in the United States. I've worked in an education company in the United States. And I can tell you that a lot of some of these schools also out there, they're also still learning how to adopt technology, into their framework. It's something that is happening globally. However, they can have more resources in terms of tablets. Those things are no problem. Computers are no problem. Internet are no problem for them. Compared to us here, that we still have to struggle to get good internet connection, even if you have to pay for it. Sometimes we don't even have internet, and the devices also that is needed, we possibly most times don't have it because they are very expensive, but the reality of this is that we can achieve great things from these small places that we find ourselves now. And it's going to be like a step at a time, starting small and staying curious. Thank you so much for listening to me. I hope to take your comments. If there's anything you want me to explain more, your feedback, or I don't know, anything you want me to say, or if you have something to add to what I've said, I'll be happy to also learn from you. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the session. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow, that's a beautiful one. That's a bit. You've mentioned several technological tools that we could use and incorporate in our learning. Please, if you've got your questions, type it in the comment section. I'm looking at both Zoom and YouTube. So if you're on YouTube and you have questions, please type your questions. I can see Jatau is raising his hand. Christopher, you need to type your question. We can't unmute and everyone. So just type your question and then you will address it. But you've met, in fact, as we are talking, I'm on my system and I'm typing some of these stuff so I can also check them out later. Because learning, we must just keep learning and be open to ideas and opportunities. And you've said it a lot. There's a lot that we have not been able to leverage. I want to talk about in Nigeria. There's a lot we've not been able to leverage in Nigeria, and I'm sure Julius can tell, he can attest to it, some of the things we're also trying to do. Julius is really doing a great stuff. You can just check Learner's Corners and you can check him out on Instagram. Check Julius Ilori on Instagram and see a lot of what they're doing in their company. He's doing a great job. Part of the things I've also tried to do with LIBL is, he says something about the fact that we have challenges incorporating this technology, especially bringing education in the technological space and harnessing it effectively. And I know at some point, Julius and I were working on a particular stuff, on how to incorporate technology, take it to the government. And what he has said is really it's common. It's what is talking about reality. I won't tell you exactly what it is, but it was a proposal that I submitted, took it to Lagos State. Ilori is aware of that. Then reach out to Oyo State government, reach out to Ekiti State government, and the responses I got from those three government agents, in the different states, also says a lot about where we are, and where we are going. So please, if you've got your questions, because I'm not going to keep him for long, so if you've got your questions, kindly post your questions right away. So some of the responses I got from those places, some of those government just made me to calm down and say, you know what, maybe I shouldn't bother going to other government agencies to try to find out and try to achieve some things. But we must keep trying as teachers, because over 70 or 80% of people who register for this training are teachers. They said that they are all teachers. So let's just incorporate, let's go back and listen to this and see how we can incorporate this. But there was something you said, Julius, sorry, you were saying something. I want you to repeat that. You were saying something about a device that your company came up with, or an app that your company came up with that can help teachers to prepare their lesson notes or help them in their lesson plan and lesson assessment and the likes. Can you throw more light on that? And how can teachers benefit extensively from that? If you need to mention the name of your company so that they can quickly reach out on Instagram or wherever, or the website, please go ahead so that we can benefit.
Yes, so I used the last training we just concluded. I think it was like a week now or 2 weeks. We concluded the training. It is not a product yet, but the state government requested us to design how artificial intelligence can improve lesson development for teachers, and also like how to incorporate some of these open source platforms like Google's resources and all of that. And the goal of this is basically to simplify how teachers are working. For example, you have like 3 sessions every day, or 5 to 10 sessions. You have to teach period 1, period 4, period 5. So this process of moving around classes is a lot for some teachers, and sometimes it tells on their health, also on their delivery, the quality of their delivery. So we now decide to do some research around artificial intelligence. We got some products, some free platforms. Some are free, some are not free. And then we created a manual, and then we used that to train 500 teachers for government. We just concluded that training like 2 weeks ago. And so I was just saying that, okay, If you can Google it, you can check YouTube to see some free resource, but I don't want to give details of that. Maybe we can partner to sell, to like give you the resource on our end. And if the teachers are willing to pay for it, because it also costs us a lot to put that together, we'll be glad to like facilitate a one-day session with everybody that is interested, physically or online. We can always make that happen, but I think online will be the best. And then we bring some of our facilitators to take these sessions, one on AI and then one on leveraging some open source platforms on Google to like do your survey, to design, your lesson notes, and all of that. So those are some things we worked on, and I'm happy to share with you like the resource. And if something we can do after this program or maybe later in the month or later anytime, we can figure it out. But I just mentioned that to let you know that even governments are also thinking of how to leverage technology, even if they are not putting in so much resource, but they're also thinking about, because teachers are really, really going through a lot of challenges, especially, over here in Lagos. I don't know what happens. I know Lagos is still better than some other states, but government also is paying attention, and they are trying to evolve with the way technologies are moving. So I just quickly mentioned that, maybe that can be something that everybody will be interested in, and we can work together to design something and push it out there for more private sector teachers to get involved. So I think that's just it.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for explaining that further. So, depending on the demand. So if we get popular demand, I think it's something we can make work. Even if not this time, we can work towards it in the coming month or year. So there's a question. He said we are far left. Usaini is asking that we are far left behind in terms of technology. We much like to do things in analog, even in the government agencies. How can we improve in technology?
I think I've mentioned this much earlier. Technology, like I said, it's just a platform to help improve what we're already doing on sites, right? There must be an engagement on site that will be taken online, right? And that is the way, because education itself is a curriculum-based engagement. It's like you trying to train somebody to get this outcome. There must be an outcome for everything, which I think we don't think about. We just write WAEC and pass. And that's why a lot of people that write WAEC and pass, they can't speak in public, they don't have public speaking skills, they can't even, they are not looking like somebody that passed WAEC, but they have B, they have C's and all of that, And that is the mindset. How do we bring out people who have passed WAEC and they are looking like somebody that have passed WAEC on like real life, not online now? Maybe, I don't, what I'm trying to say. What I'm going to say is this: using of technology starts from the flexibility of the mind. A lot of the teachers that I've worked with, they're always scared. Oh, this thing's come to take my job. I was in a PTA meeting and two teachers raised and they were attacking us, during our presentation, saying people want to take our job. You want to take our job with your computers, with your blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, man, like, you don't understand what I'm trying to say. People are still rigid in their mind about this thing called technology. They feel like, one day this thing will take my job, or waiting I go to chop, And if you have that at the back of your mind, you will see this whole presentation as too much talk and it's not necessary, But if you are very flexible, you are willing to adapt, because that's where the world is going. Even in the place of work today, there's a lot of people working remotely that they have never seen their colleagues before. How do you think they are delivering? It's because they are flexible in the mind to like try new technology, using Slack, using some of these, platforms to maintain communication, So it starts from the mind. We must have the mind of learning. We must continue to learn. We must continue to improve. Like this platform today now has created the platform for us to improve, gain more. I'm sure we're going to meet more facilitators later in the evening. I'm sure you could listen to them. So this platform alone is creating a resource base for everybody to learn and open our mind. So if your mind is not open to learning, then it becomes a struggle to adopt technology. Lastly, we have to start small. I want to say that again. Like, we have to start small and remain curious, because like what Mr. Sorry. Sorry. Like what we mentioned earlier about resources. We don't have all of the resources at our like beck and call right now. like the example my boss gave here, like saying that we went to Ministry of Education. If you know the stress we went through just to submit that document, if you know the trouble we went through just to get, and at the end of the day, these people don't, they're like, okay, we'll get back to you. And they'll be on that thing for the next 1 year, right? If not because of COVID, trust me, we'll not be having this conversation. Like, they don't see that something that is important. And that's why most times we have to take this very serious. Government is the biggest, they are the biggest funders of education in anywhere in the world. Government's primary responsibility is to provide education. It's their responsibility. We can't take it from them. Private sector people like us can say, oh, we are innovating, but government controls, because they have the funding. They determine the kind of, okay, if you look at what happens in other developed countries like China, you see that the kind of graduate they are producing is based on their curriculum. An average Chinese man can do anything, vocational based, technical based, like it's based on the kind of curriculum. You meet somebody from India, some of them did not go to university, trust me. They didn't go, but their system, the curriculum they have gone through make them to become somebody who thinks of. And that's why anywhere you find them, they are the one leading in the space most times. You meet somebody who was grounded in America, you see the person is interested in research. They have this, every curriculum in every country has a purpose, and that is one thing we are still struggling to have in Nigeria, because if you ask me, if you see in Nigeria, what are the things you want to see in Nigeria? We can't really specify, so we X, Y, Z, because only in Nigeria you're going to see American Nigerian curriculum, Nigerian British curriculum, Nigerian Canadian curriculum. So when we have all of these foreign curriculums coming to our space, producing people that don't understand what like, the gap is just too much between those people that can afford that kind of curriculum and those that cannot afford it. And at the end of the day, it's those people that will be getting the opportunity. So we must continue to be flexible in the mind, and also raising our voices, starting small. We need to use our platform to let government know that you also need to do better. But with the little resource we have done X, Y, Z. So I really hope what I've said is useful.
Thank you so much. You said a lot, and Zuma on YouTube has picked your quote since. He said, start small, stay curious. I think that summarizes the quote you are giving. All right. So somebody is saying, can you please list out the softwares you mentioned? I didn't get the spelling of some of them. Okay.
Okay, so let me start from the first one I mentioned. Let me see, I think I wrote it down here. So I mentioned Kahoots. I don't know if you got that. For student engagement, I mentioned that's a very popular platform. Please check it out. If you want me to spell it, let me know. I can.
Please spell it. K-A.
Kahoot is a tool that allows teachers to create interactive quizzes, that students can answer in real time using their devices. Please check it out. I also mentioned Schoollinker. It's majorly a platform for teachers that want to do professional development. There's a lot of courses there, but it's not free. It's not free, but you can check some free courses out. I also mentioned Khan Academy, KHAN Academy. Khan Academy is also very popular platform that, a lot of the student teachers can also leverage to gain content. You can download some of their videos and use it as instructional videos in the classroom. For those of you that have teachers that have instructional board, that have screens in your classroom, or a projector. So I know we might not have screens, but a projector can also do the same thing. You just need to download and plug in your flash drive into your computer and play from the projector. And if you don't have electricity, then you have to ask your school to buy, or maybe you use your salary to buy fuel. I'm joking. Let me mention another one again. I also mentioned YouTube. Everybody knows YouTube. You can always go on YouTube to check out anything. Google Classroom also is another LMS platform that you want to check out. It's so interesting. Like, if Google Classroom can do a lot of things right now. I also mentioned Edmodo, EDMODO. These platforms help teachers to organize class materials, assignment, and assessment in one place. So as a teacher, you want to have your portfolio in one place. Google Classrooms or EDMODO helps you to do that. And I think they have some free plan that you don't have to pay for. So if you don't want to pay, I mean, there's some free plan that you possibly don't want to, like, you can take advantage of. For teachers that deliver language courses, you want to look out for flash apps like Quizlet. I mentioned Quizlet. Quizlet, Quizlet, for flashcards. Everybody know Duolingo here. You can also check out Duolingo for language learning. It makes studying more interactive and enjoyable. These apps can be easily integrated into a lesson or assigned as practical work. So these are some free platforms that we can take advantage of. Let me see what else again. So those ones I've mentioned, I think they are like, if you also have, we can also check out ULesson, but ULesson is majorly for students, and they are also not free, but they have some free videos that you can take advantage of. For some of us that are also using AI like ChatGPT and all of that, there are some basic ChatGPT, features you can use. However, the most important thing you need to know about AI is your prompting. If you can't prompt well, you will not get the results. So you want to go on YouTube and check, how do I get the right prompting? How do I ask AI? How do I give AI an instruction that that will make AI to understand what I'm trying to say, and to give me the right thing that I want? And one of the ways you can do this is to ask AI to become a subject matter expert. For example, you are a physics teacher and you're like, AI or ChatGPT or whatever you're using, become like the subject matter expert in physics, or become a professional, and I want you to give me maybe so thing in physics for my students between the ages of 10 to 15. You see that you have now given AI like specifics. Now you are telling AI to act like a teacher, to act like a physics instructor who is teaching students between 10 and 15, right? Explain these concepts by giving us the definition, similarities, advantage, just list everything you want from, like, it's going to give you like a lot. If it is mathematics also, you can do the same thing. These are just simple concepts of prompting. You must, because the AI you are interacting with is also taking in information from other places. So you must be able to maximize through prompts, through the use of prompts. So it's something I think everybody needs to like learn. And maybe later in the year, myself and Mr. Adele can work on something and, get you guys to learn how to use prompts, but it's not free of charge. Like I said, it's not going to be free, because it's possibly going to be like a 4 hours class, maybe 2 hours first, and then we go on break for 30 minutes, and then we come back another 2 hours, and then everybody have to present something. So it's going to be very, 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 very loaded. So if it's not something you have that time for, maybe possibly a weekend like this will work for you, But I think it's something we have to do to teach people how to prompt, because trust me, AI it has really changed. In fact, I don't have a PA anymore, because there's nothing I need my PA for anymore. My AI is like my PA. It helps me to organize what I need to do. I know how to, it's just so amazing, And also beware of plagiarism. Don't copy and paste content or steal, please. We need to be very careful. And also with using videos in the classroom, people can go and download somebody else's video and they sue you for using somebody else's content. You will pay, So we need to have this at the back of our mind, that plagiarism in education is a crime. Please, we don't plagiarize. It's a crime, and it's something we need to say no to. So thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. We've got just 2 more questions, and then we are done for today. So Thomas is asking, as a mathematics instructor, how can one make use of technology to make teaching and learning more fun for students?
Sir, please, can you take that question again?
Okay, Thomas is asking, as a mathematics instructor,
yeah,
how can one make use of technology to make teaching and learning more fun for students?
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. It's something we also struggle with at the when we started creating content on mathematics. Trust me, it cost us a lot of waste. Like, I don't want to use wasting of money, but we tried a lot of things, because if you are, I'm sure you understand, if you're teaching somebody using word problems, it's very easy to not to write on the board. Maybe Shola has 5 mangoes. If you have, these word problems, it's much easy to explain using animation to do that. But when you get to the real calculation, there's animation cannot really, 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 really give you that result. You have to solve. And especially those that are writing WAEC and maybe Jambo, I don't know, GC, the process of your calculation is marked. So they are marking you step by step. So one of the things I'm going to say is the interactive board is one of the biggest tools that can help you engage, solving on the board and getting students to also solve on the board. And I also recommend that you check out Khan Academy to see their model, how they are teaching their maths. But a lot of these platforms in Nigeria, or not just Nigeria alone, today are still trying to figure out that calculation part. I have to be honest with you. They do a lot of word problems. Go and check ULesson. You will see that it's word problems. And word problems is good for the student, but on paper to pass WAEC, word problems will not help you. But in real life, you can use word problem. It helps you to understand, you're able to engage. If I like critical thinking, those things are very beautiful, which is good. It's also a part of teaching. However, when you are teaching someone that is preparing for WAEC, you trust me that the person have to write, like solve step 1, step 2, step, because they will not just mark answer for you. They will mark it from your steps. So you have to think of ways that your students can interact with you. I think you should also maybe think about it, but these are some platforms that have done some work on this old mass class thing. You have to check them out. And I also think ChatGPT can help you. Like I said, think of a prompt. Learn how to use a prompt on ChatGPT. It's going to solve the mass, like, accordingly. I've tried this before. I'm not just saying it, like, I've tried it. It explained everything step by step, and it also help you create quiz, fast quiz. You want to test your student knowledge on this, maybe quadratic equation, and you don't have time. Just put the question and give AI an instruction, and you see that it will generate those quiz for you and even create the answer. So we just have to keep trying new technology, keep testing until we find the one that is fit for purpose, fit for the student and fit for the kind of environment. For example, if you have students that don't have devices at home, they don't have internet at home, there's a limit already to what you can ask them to go and do as homework. So if there's anything they can do in the classroom where there's internet or there's computer, then you want to start thinking of some other innovations, tech innovation that can help them learn, group projects and all of that. So I really think I'm able to answer your question. Thank you.
All right. So the final question. So I said, knowing that some schools have supervisors who score their lesson notes, using this technology described, will the teacher not need to copy out or write the note out again? Kofre is asking that.
Okay. I want to understand that question. Please, can you help me explain a bit?
Okay, so the question is saying that, some schools, the principal will want to mark and sign on the lesson note that teachers have prepared. He said, but if we use technology and it's going to be typed, would it mean that the teacher needs to rewrite everything in their notebook?
So that is still one of the problems we are facing. The traditional ways of doing things, most people don't want to change. But one of the most interesting things is that even government schools are now adopting the use of PowerPoint, right? And one of the trainings we're working on for some Lagos State teachers and some quality assurance departments is on how to evaluate e-content. So evaluation of e-content is something that we need to take, to some of these schools. We have to train that teacher the principal on how to evaluate e-content, because we are really, really, really moving fast using technology. So if you still want your teachers to write on paper, then you are causing more problem for them. You are stressing them out. You can always come up with other ways. Maybe they need to just print out whatever they need to do, but writing on paper is still like old and ancient. I don't think is a good way to still keep evaluating these days, because I can easily give somebody 20,000 and the person will write all my lesson notes for me, even if I don't know what is inside, you know. So I don't know what to say or how to advise you, but I will just tell you that you will not be in that school forever. I think that's one thing you need to know. You will not be in that school forever. One day, a school that is more upgraded will employ you or give you an opportunity. And some of these things that will start coming to play. You go to schools like Corona. I mean, I've worked closely with Corona. I can tell you for free. I don't think they write on paper anymore, because all of the teachers, they have laptops and they present using PowerPoint. Using PowerPoint to do their lesson, to present their stuffs, and it's very beautiful. Teachers are learning how to design. Now, and that is where lesson design comes on board. Like, how do I design my PowerPoint in a way that students will not sleep off in the classroom? To be very engaging for them, to be very beautiful, mixtures of colors and all of that, especially for those that teach primary school students. So I would advise you not to give up on some of the things you are learning. Please keep learning. Give your principal whatever they want, because they are the one paying your salary for now. But trust me, I'm sure another opportunity will come that will pay you for what you know and what you can do. Thank you.
Wow, what a profound session. What a profound session. This is a session that we need to go back and rewatch. Thank you so much, Mr. Ilori. I know coming to have this session wasn't convenient based on our conversation, but I thank you because I know you always honor my invitation, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming, and thank you for having this time out. God bless you. Please, can you help me appreciate Mr. Julius? Can you help me appreciate him? Appreciate him. Oh, what a wonderful session. What a wonderful session.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate your kind words, and thanks for your consistency.
Thank you.
This is incredible. This is amazing. And please, we're always here to work with you anytime, anywhere, anytime we're ready. And I want to say good time to everybody on the call too, for joining, for engaging, for, I think somebody also made some recommendation. I saw it on the chat now. That is amazing. Thank you so much. I've also learned from that, and I'll take it back as I finish this session. Thank you.
Thank you. That's good. That's good. Thank you, sir. Okay, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. It's been a wonderful session. It's been a wonderful session. Please, I'd like you to just try to check out Julius Ilori on Instagram and follow him. He's doing a great job, I tell you. And like I said, he's someone that is really, really down to earth. So follow him on LinkedIn and all the social media handles and see what they're doing. And I know that they do trainings occasionally. So let's just keep learning. Let's keep learning. Let's keep learning. I'm glad for all the teachers. We have over 600 teachers, over 600 before we close the registration. We had over 600 teachers who registered for this course. Tomorrow, this course will be coming to an end. We'll be rounding off this training tomorrow. Is Instagram handle, just type Julius Ilori. I don't know if he's still on the call, but if you type Julius Ilori on Instagram, or type Learner's Corner. Learner's Corner. Yeah, that's the name of the company. His own group is Julius Ilori. You can check him out. Please, there's a lot for us to keep learning. Even during the session that I took last week, mentioned technology. We can't shy away from technology. That's the truth. We just have to find a way to incorporate technology. And there's a lot that he has said. Okay, thank you. He has posted it. So Ilori_Julius on Instagram. Ilori_Julius. That's his handle on Instagram. Ilori_Julius. You can just type Ilori_Julius. You'll find him on Instagram. There's a lot you will learn following him. There's a lot you will learn following all the teachers, educators who have spoken, including Peace Bamidele. I think Peace Bamidele is Peace_Bamidele, something like that. So tomorrow we'll have our last session, and tomorrow's session is by 5 p.m. tentatively. and is going to be handled by Kemi Ogunsanya, another profound educator. Some of you may have seen them. I know some of the speakers that have been speaking. Some of you may know them. You know, they are profound people. Kemi also is coming, God willing, on board tomorrow to speak with us on learners, you know, I think student-centered learning, you know, and it's going to be an awesome one. So please, after tomorrow, let me just make this announcement. I know some people have been asking some of the admins on the group. So after tomorrow's session, the test will be administered during the week. During the week, it's going to be virtual as well. It's going to be online. We'll send you the link. You register. Please take note. I want to reiterate this. To get the certificate of participation at the end of this training is going to be those who pass the test, those who scored over 60%, 60% and above. And there is no way you can pass it without being a part of the class, such as attending these lessons. Now, the good news also is that you have these classes on YouTube within a short period. So you can still have access to them on YouTube. You can still have access to them within this short time where you can quickly listen to them again. When we send the link, we'll let you know when the link will be activated. Once it's activated, then write your test within that short time. All the 4 classes, so you've had 2, this is the 3rd one. Tomorrow you have a 4th one, and after that 4th one, then all the questions will be from the 4 classes. It will be mainly from what the speakers have taught, so you can listen to these videos again and again. And there is one more thing. May I suggest, or may I request, humbly, please follow us on YouTube. Just click the subscribe button. It's not going to cost you anything, you know. Just click the, even when you go back to reward, click subscribe button. And if you are so pleased with the fact that this training that you have now is for free, and that you say, okay, well, how can you give back? Why not share it in different groups and tell people to help subscribe on YouTube as well, so that many people can also have access to the opportunity in future when we have further trainings coming up. I also mentioned to you that links will be sent for our next training. Now, many of you, I mean, we are mostly teachers. We have teens leadership program coming up. I think next week, yeah, or upper week. Maybe this coming, not this weekend, and maybe the coming weekend. That's when the training is starting on the 27th. That's when teens leadership training is starting. We're going to send the flyer. We're going to send the link. Send it to your school teams. Send it to your religious gathering. Send it to your children. Let them participate. Let them benefit. It's going to be a 1-week training as well for them. A virtual one. We have leadership trainers, people who are very knowledgeable in dealing with children also in that regard, who will also be engaging them during this time. And of course, they will also get a certificate. This is not our first time of having leadership training for teenagers. We've had in the previous session, and now we are having another one this year. Please, let's make use of this opportunity. Let's just be a blessing to as many people. Okay, so please go on YouTube, type LIBL Academy, LIBL Academy. LIBL Academy, you should be seeing the logo LIBL Academy on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for joining the class. I'll see you again tomorrow by 5 p.m. God willing. Bye-bye. Enjoy.